Alright, I have two little quick disclaimers I gotta say before I start the video, and that's that one, this video is gonna have spoilers for Sonic X Shadow Generations, mostly both of them really. So if you haven't played them, I would recommend playing it first. And if you don't care about spoilers, or if you've played it before, that's chill. Also, it's a Sonic game, so of course it's gonna have flashing lights, so be careful of that too. And then also, this one's not a disclaimer, but at the end of the video, I will be announcing some MMTTNS stuff, which I'm pretty excited about. So anyways, roll the clip. The first part literally starts with me playing a boss, so be careful of spoilers if you're going to watch this video. What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another video, and today we're going to be talking about the new Sonic X Shadow Generations game. Now, technically, the Sonic Generations part isn't entirely really new, but it's kind of like more of a Mario 3D world port to the Switch kind of situation, you know? Where one that has a new game and then it also has an old game with just better graphics, and that's about all they add. So I'm going to talk mostly about Shadow Generations, since it's definitely the main cool part of the whole game. It's definitely my favorite part as well, but I'm going to start with talking of Sonic Generations. So Sonic Generations, we've probably all played it. I will say, as much as it's not as fun as Shadow Generations, it is a lot more nostalgic. You know, you can get to play as both Sonics as you do in the original. The graphics also look a little bit more accurate to the time when the original games were made. Obviously not, because they're in 3D for the classic Sonic, but still, like, it's a little bit more low polygram, which makes sense judging by the time period where they were made. They didn't really up the graphics too much, which some people might not like or something, but I personally think that's a nice touch, you know. I think it's definitely pretty cool, but one of the things that's been kind of controversial, and I haven't played too much of the Sonic Generations game, is apparently it's had some story changes that people haven't liked from the original Sonic Generations, which I haven't played far enough to know the difference. But basically, I do like the whole idea of being able to play as both of them. And although it's been done before, and the original is like $12 on Amazon, I mean, this game just makes it so much worth it. The Sonic X, the Shadow Generations. That's what I call it. I don't know if that's what it's actually called, but yeah, it's kind of like that part is just a more remaster. I mean, not even remaster. It didn't change too much in the game, but overall, Sonic Generations, it's a fun game. I do also like, from what I've seen from when I played it, it seems that the actual soundtracks and everything changed depending on which Sonic you're playing as, you know? Like, if you're playing as classic Sonic, it's gonna have more retro kind of, the things from the original Sonic. You're gonna see that a lot more if you play as the classic Sonic. But if you play as, I think it's Adult Sonic or something, then you're gonna hear more modern music, which I think is a nice little touch there. I don't know if that was in the original, since I haven't played it in forever, but it is definitely pretty cool how they actually paid that attention to detail and made it accurate to both of them in just about every way, including the mechanics. One core difference between Sonic, classic Sonic, and the Adult Sonic or whatever, is that the classic Sonic can do the spin dash when the adult one can do, like, boosts, which I think is pretty cool, which makes it kind of easier to play as Adult Sonic. But then again, I feel like if you're playing as classic Sonic, you're probably just trying to not only make the game harder, but remind you of, like, a while back when he used to be normal. Why did I use Chaos Controller, by the way? It was dumb. But yeah, that's all I'm gonna really touch on the Sonic Generations. They didn't add way too much from what I've seen, so there's not too much to talk about. But on the other hand, the Shadow Generations is really fun. It's really cool. I like the mechanics in it. I like the whole Doom's aspect thing, like the Doom Spear, all of that. So I'm gonna dissect this a little bit. So starting off, first off, this is, as I said, spoilers. So this is kind of in a weird universe, this game, because in this universe, Maria and I forgot the guy's name, didn't die from the Ark incident, which is strange, or at least it didn't happen yet. Even though Shadow remembers it. So I don't know what exactly universe we are in this game. I haven't completed it yet. I just finished the second boss, which is what I'm playing in the background right now. It's really fun. It's definitely my favorite boss in a Sonic game in a little bit, besides Sonic Frontiers, which I know that was pretty recent. But Sonic Frontiers just has a certain vibe to their games. To their bosses. But yeah, it's generally really fun. There's a lot of fun mechanics in it. It is kind of in a weird universe. And so that's the main story plot, really, is that there's this Doom guy, and apparently it touches a lot on Shadow's backstory on how he became the ultimate life form and all that, which is pretty fun, It's pretty cool. I didn't really expect that too much. They talked about, this Doom guy, blah, 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 helped create it with his Shadow with his DNA, so when he gets stronger, then so does the Doom guy, all that, and the Doom guy is the main bad guy, and then Shadow's trying to, obtain his power and make him less powerful. It's kind of strange. I know, I agree with that, but it's definitely an interesting story, I'm not gonna lie. You're gonna have to play it for yourself to see what I mean. Yeah, that's the guy I'm talking about. He's kind of weird, as you could see him in a second there. There's some really cool mechanics in this game. I'm gonna talk about that next, since it's probably one of my favorite parts of this game. There's so much cool mechanics in this game. It kind of reminds me of Mario Sunshine, really, because you get to collect things and go around in a more open world map. Even though it's not open world at all, I feel like it's more open. You can do more stuff. There's collectibles all over. It's really fun. But anyways, as I said, into the mechanics, they have this as you've seen in most of the gameplay here, they have these it's surfer thing. I'll put the screenshot of what it looks like when you get it now. But they have this surfer thing where you can surf on the waves and all that, which is really cool. I think that's one of the best mechanics there. It's so fun, especially in the levels. It has some really cool things you can do with it, with the dashes and dodges, and even if you spin, you can spin attack, which is really fun. That's one of the biggest mechanics that I've liked. Another really cool one is the Doom Spears, which basically they're they're spears of light or spears of darkness, depending on how much you use. But basically what they do is you can shoot up to 5 of them, and they basically just electrify any enemy in the area. And it can be used for other things too, as you saw in the boss fight earlier. They can be used to power things, use it as a way to get things away or something. There's a lot of things you can do. It's really fun. And the next thing is the octopus, which I'm about to go in, if I'm correct. Yeah, the octopus is really, I'm not used to that one yet, because it's really new to me. But the octopus seems pretty cool, There's this, I want to say malice, because I've been into Zelda recently. I don't know what to call it. There's this gloom or whatever all over the map after a while, so that with the octopus you get to swim around with it and use other mechanics with it to just glide around and jump higher. It's pretty cool. It's not the best in the game, though. And then, obviously, we all know Chaos Control. I saved the most useful for last. Because let's be for real here. Besides the homing attack, that's the most useful ability. But we all know the homing attack. Chaos Control, you should probably know it if you played any games with Shadow in it before. Basically freezes time and does a few other things, depending on the situation. But it's definitely really helpful in this game, especially since some of these games, so there's these challenges in this game, right? Where you gotta you gotta get this, you gotta do this task in a certain amount of time, blah blah blah, and then you'll get a key unlocked to open one of the boss gates. I really like that idea. It works quite well in the game. And with Chaos Control, it can, it not only just stops the time in game, but it actually stops the timer at the top there that's going, which is definitely really good. And I think it's kind of helpful if you want to get a good score, if you want to get a good, if you got to get a good rank, not just I got to be on this level or something, you could get a little higher of a rank if you do that. Also, it's just really helpful in a lot of situations, especially with spikes or enemies. it's also really cool just watching everything just like poof the second it turns back on. The second that time unfreezes, it's pretty cool seeing that. Now, one of the most confusing parts of this game was at the beginning, because I forgot about the whole fake Chaos Emeralds, and they didn't really have any plot point to the game, which is weird. Like, I don't understand why it was there. There's some weird parts of the story that doesn't make much sense, but it's cool seeing Maria in a game and all that you can talk to him. I guess in this universe, sure, you gotta recover everything, you know? Just like in Sonic Generations, you kind of have to recover everything, which is what I'm doing with this level is called, you know? Sorry for that weird cut. I did it again. I figured out why it does that, though. It's because every 10 seconds, it's every 10 minutes if you don't use it. But anyways, yeah, that's a little, there's some cool plot points, there's some weird ones, but overall, I really love the game, and you should check it out yourself. So, thank you so much for watching. And let's get on to the announcements. Okay. Starting off, first thing, hold on, let me get my sticky notes. Okay, there we go. So I got a few ideas here that I'm going to share with you guys. First, we might make more music soon. We might make more, okay, so like the music thing is one of the main points I have to say. Another thing is, so we're actually thinking about making a video, which is the history of MMTTNS animated. It's going to be like a backstory of all of the MMTTNS members. I think it's going to be pretty cool. It's going to take forever to make, though. And then for a good base thing we're going to talk about, one of the games we're working on is called MMTTNS Journeys. Because we all have our own characters and all that. It's not going to be focused around us. It's going to be focused on our own characters. But yeah, we finally have a good workshop's name, for the moment at least. It's going to be an adventure game where you can go out as all of our OCs and all that, and a whole bunch of characters. You'll see some familiar faces too, like, you know, the trio and all that. I think it's going to be a pretty cool game. We're still working on developing it, though. So those are the main 2 points I'm going to talk about, and I guess it's some little smaller announcements. It's one, the channel of those Scandinavian mappers, which is my 3 friends, that Danish mapper, Swedish mapper, that Swedish mapper, and that Norwegian mapper. You can tell why they're called that, because they're in a trio. They have officially released their channel for anyone to watch. I'm going to put the PFP up there now, and we also have the MMTTNS channel, which is where the MMTTNS stuff in general is, you know, there's going to be some cool stuff there. It's basically a group channel. Who knows? We might have a podcast there. Who knows what's going to go on? But as MMTTNS grows, it's going to be a lot funner having that channel. So that's about all I got to say today. Thank you so much for watching. On one side is a few videos, and on the other is the 2 channels I was talking about, which is MMTTNS and those Scandinavian mappers. Alright, bye.